It's January 3rd, 2015. Welcome to the new year, motherfuckers. And this is your Fortean Slip news.
So, Chris, out of Turner, Maine, we have the best evidence of Bigfoot since the Patterson Gimlin from Turner, Maine. That's in your neck of the woods, right?
Yes. Same place that we got the famous. Was it the Turner Beast?
I'm not familiar with the Turner Beast.
You don't remember the Turner Beast, the dog?
No. Well, you've talked about it before, yeah.
Yes, the dog. Okay, continue.
So anyway, it's according to a researcher up there in Maine, it's the best evidence since the Patterson Gimlin film. I wondered if you had looked into that at all.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I can tell. Yeah. First of all, it's a guy walking through the woods. Second of all, if you see the name Bill Brock attached to the story, just fucking click off, move on. All right, we can move to the next story, Steve.
All right. But it was the most convincing. Never mind.
Yeah, it's the most convincing fucking piece of shit is what it is. Jesus.
From the Tech Times. Are you going to keep going?
No, I'm good.
Okay. From the techtimes.com. Apparently, there's a UFO discovered in some old Apollo footage from the moon. Moon explorations have been one of the biggest space projects in the history of science. As humans were busy closely observing the moon, archive photos of the Apollo mission suggest that aliens may have also been observing humans observing the moon. The Apollo mission, launched by the U.S. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, I'm just going to say NASA from now on, it's so much easier.
Good morning, Dave.
Saw the first humans to ever land on the surface of the moon in 1969. However, several manned Apollo missions followed until 1972. Many people across the world have reported sightings of unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. However, while going through the archival images of Apollo 15 missions, a UFO researcher has found a UFO.
Imagine that. A UFO researcher was looking through some pictures and found a UFO.
Interesting. The latest UFO news comes from a YouTube video that was uploaded by StreetCap1. The original image that contains the so-called UFO was taken on the moon's surface during the 67 hours between July 30th and August 2nd, 1971. Some UFO enthusiasts believe that the object highlighted in the image is actually a UFO observing the moon landings by humans, while some others believe that it could be something else, such as a dust particle, camera error, space debris, or more. It could be anything: a scratch on a particle, camera lens, a piece of dust flying up. Since there is very low gravity, things tend to move around a bit up there. It could be a blocked out. It could even be a blocked out bad picture of Earth from the moon. Nothing about this still picture proves that it is a UFO, since whatever it is not flying. It is stationary, since it's only a picture. My best guess is it's a bad picture, and that spot left from bad developing. And that's according to a comment on the YouTube video. YouTube user StreetCap1 also highlighted that even though the craft has not been identified, it does not necessarily mean that the object is an alien craft. The Apollo 15 mission was not the first manned mission to the moon. However, NASA termed Apollo 15 as J missions, or long-stay missions on the moon. It was also the first Apollo mission that used roving vehicles. NASA also called Apollo 15 one of the most successful manned missions to space ever achieved.
Steve, UFOs can hover, right?
They can, yeah.
I rest my case. That's a UFO.
Okay. Well, it is unidentified. It's in the sky, but according to that YouTube user, it was just a still picture, so you can't really tell if it was what it was, flying, or, it could have been anything.
I still go back to a UFO researcher, looked at some pictures.
And found a UFO, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it usually goes. From the Huffington Post, Argentina's president has a bizarre werewolf mishap. Sounds exciting. Reports that the president of Argentina adopted a boy as her godson to prevent him from becoming a werewolf. Jeez, I can't even speak this morning, Chris. But that's not different from any other morning.
I just figured I'd fucking let it go.
Anyway, she adopted this boy to prevent him from becoming a werewolf, but the reports may have been greatly exaggerated. On December 23rd, Argentine President Cristina Kirchner adopted Yair Tawil, 21, as her godson, as part of a tradition that has been performed in the country for more than 100 years. Tradition dictates that the president adopts the seventh son or daughter of a family as a godchild. That child gets a medal and an education up to the age of 21.
And possibly a blowjob from the Argentinian president.
Not sure I'd want that. Have you seen a picture? Just saying. Anyway, so this kid lost out because she didn't adopt him till he was 21, and he only gets his education paid for up to the age of 21, but whatever. Until 2009, the tradition is only available to Catholics, but Tawil was the first Jewish person to be adopted by the Argentine president, according to The Independent.
That's because she had to save him from becoming a werewolf, Steve.
Well, we're getting to that. But what Kirchner described as a magical moment on Twitter has become a hairy situation thanks to some confusion. It seems there is another Argentine tradition called El Labason, a belief that a family's seventh son turns into a werewolf starting on the first Friday after the boy's 13th birthday and every full moon thereafter. The belief was allegedly so widespread in the 19th century that parents would kill the seventh son to prevent a future teenage werewolf. Why are visions of Michael J. Fox dancing in my head right now? It's a great story, but the customs are not related, according to the Argentine historian Daniel
Probably because Teen Wolf has more validity than this story.
The local myth of the Labason is not in any way connected to the custom that began over 100 years ago by which every seventh son or daughter born in Argentina becomes the godchild to the president, Balmaceda told the Guardian. That detail didn't stop the Independent from blending the two separate customs and reporting that Kirchner adopted Tawil to prevent him from becoming a werewolf. Other media outlets, including the UPI, the New York Daily News, BuzzFeed, and yes, even the Huffington Post, reported that the president adopted Tamir specifically to keep him from becoming a werewolf. It's probably not true, but Kirchner has not commented on the werewolf confusion, and neither has any werewolves.
Those werewolves, they don't like to come forward, Steve.
No, they don't talk a lot.
They fear man. They really do.
I think they do. Especially 21-year-old Jewish werewolves. From ancient origins, yes, I said origins, .net. Archaeologists discover the mythical tomb of Osiris, god of the dead in Egypt. A Spanish-Italian archaeologist. Yeah. Go figure, God of the Dead has a tomb.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey.
I mean, jeez.
God's got to die too, Steve.
Well, yeah, maybe. I didn't think God's ever died, but being the God of the dead that he is, it was probably appropriate.
Shows what you know.
Yeah, I don't know shit. A Spanish-Italian archaeologist team, in cooperation with the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities, has made an incredible discovery in the necropolis of, oh my God, Sheikh Abd el-Qurna on the West Bank at Thebes, Egypt. An enormous ancient reproduction of the... Oh, it's a reproduction of the mythical tomb. Damn it. Of Osiris, as described by Egyptian legend. Complete with multiple shafts and chambers inside the tomb complex. Researchers found a carving of Osiris in a room with a wall relief depicting a demon holding knives.
I saw a film with multiple shafts. It was an anime porn.
According to the Spanish news agency EFE, the tomb embodies all the features of the tomb of Osiris, as told in ancient Egypt legends, and is a smaller version of the design of the Osirian, built under Egyptian pharaoh Seti I in the city of Abydos, Luxor. Researchers believe the tomb complex dates back to the 25th dynasty, or 750 to 656 BC, or maybe the 26th dynasty, which was 672 to 525 BC, based on a comparison to similar tombs that contain Osirian elements. The complex consists of a large hall supported by 5 pillars. The structure has a staircase from the north wall of the main room leading down to the funerary, I like that word, funerary, complex, where there's a carving of Osiris, god of the dead, in the middle of the central vaulted temple. I'm not going to describe the whole entire fucking temple, jeez. That's all that goes on for a while, is describing this temple.
Well, shorten the fucking story up, Steve.
Okay, I'll do that. According to Egyptian mythology, Osiris, god of the underworld, was killed by Set, god of storms, disorder, and violence, who shut Osiris in a coffin and threw him in the Nile River. After his body was recovered by Isis, Set tore his body into pieces and threw them back into the river. Boy, Set was a nice guy, wasn't he? Isis collected all the pieces and bandaged the body together. This form of Osiris traveled to the underworld in a boat and became god of the dead. The only body part Isis could not locate was the phallus. That's penis for our faithful listeners, as it had been eaten by a catfish. Isis created a golden phallus and briefly
of course he did. Osiris. Yes. Look at my golden cock.
Briefly brought Osiris back to life with a spell which gave her enough time to become pregnant by Osiris and before he returned to death. Isis later gave birth to Horus, who became seen as a representation of new beginnings and the destroyer of the evil Set.
And your dog wants you to be fucking done.
Yeah, I think the story's done. But, getting pregnant with a golden phallus, that must be something else.
Hey, it's the man with the golden phallus. It's going to be the new Bond film.
All right, I shut the dog up.
Oh, well, that was amazing. Are you Caesar Milan now?
I'm the dog whisperer.